sets. Neville is here for Girl Power Tuesday. And you know, they say women are powerful agents of change. Yet still women continue to be vastly underrepresented in decision-making, in politics, business, and communities. And here to discuss women in leadership roles, more specifically, women in political spaces, is Senator Donna Scott-Mottley, Shadow Minister for Justice and Gender Affairs. Good morning, Senator. Welcome
morning,
to Senator. Jamaica.
Good morning, Delia.
Morning, Senator.
It's so nice to see you. Good morning, Neville.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm wonderful and hoping that this device works because all my plans broke down. You know technology.
Yeah. Well, so far it's working.
You think about everything and at the last moment it just fails you.
So far it's working, so fingers crossed. Well, congrats. Yesterday was International Women's Day. I'm sure you celebrated that, so I hope you had a great day, ma'am. What about where we are in Jamaica, women in leadership roles? Let's look at Jamaica first. Give me your thoughts on why we don't have. Do we have enough? How come we don't have? Give me your thoughts on that, please.
Well, we never have enough until we stop talking about it. When we stop talking about it and singling out women who have achieved, it means that it has been normalized. So Jamaica has been recognized internationally as having the largest amount of monies in the world. And that is, of course, extremely significant. We have conquered so many barriers. We have had a female prime minister. Our judiciary is largely dominated by women. We have women who are dominating the medical profession, the engineering profession, and we have women who are trespassing on what has normally been seen as a purview of males, like becoming pilots and so on. Of course, in this COVID pandemic, we celebrate.
We're hearing you, ma'am.
Oh, I was hearing something else. I'm so sorry.
No, ma'am, we're hearing you loud and clear.
So what I'm saying is that even in the COVID time, we are actually seeing that the first line responders are women. So Neville, your question, do we have enough? Do we have too much? That is very difficult to answer. As I said, I think that when we start picking out exceptional women who are first, when we stop talking about the women who head up financial institutions, just because it's just what is,
right,
then I think we will say that we have accomplished what we want.
Okay.
Yeah. Yesterday, there was a call by parliamentarians for strategic measures to be put in place to guarantee greater participation of women in representational politics. How can we get more women in politics in Jamaica?
Oh, we have to get more women. But Delia, as somebody who was a candidate, I know what it is like to campaign. I know the challenges in raising money. I know the challenges in just balancing your family time and the political time. In fact, politics dominates your life. And so what I say is that we have to find a way to fund their campaigns. Women are reluctant to go out and ask for money. And even very wealthy women who are their friends we don't have a culture of giving. Mm-hmm. So we tend to get people volunteering their time rather than their money. So I think that we need to set aside some money to help women to fund the campaigns. And I think we have to have a quota. You will notice that in the opposition, we have equal amount of senators. We have 4 women and 4 men. And I think if we started with that kind of balance, then we would see more and more people being inspired to know they have a chance to play a significant role. In this cabinet now, I think we have 3 women as ministers and 2 women as ministers of state. I would like to see that expanded. There are a number of women in the government with whom I work. And I know that they are eminently qualified and very suitable to run the ministries. I would like to see that.
Yeah. Senator, eminently qualified is good. And you probably will disagree with me. I'm not certain I like the word quota because quota seems like you're going to put somebody in a position just because they're female and not necessarily because they are qualified.
Do you remember the whole issue of affirmative action when it arose?
Yep.
It was a push, a start, an incentive. It doesn't mean that people were not qualified. It means that people were not getting the opportunity to step out. And that is where quotas help. As a start, now let me be very clear. I celebrate the significant amount of women who are presently in Parliament. We have 26, but it is 26 out of 84.
Right.
And I would like to see that increased. And I think we have to have a strategy. Never all over the world, female leadership is being recognized and celebrated.
Right.
We have a female vice president of the United States. Half of Biden's campaign are women. Similarly, Trudeau's cabinet. So the leaders who have been celebrated for their handling of COVID are the women who have been singled out in Germany, Norway, in Denmark, in New Zealand, in Taiwan, in Barbados. And so feminine leadership adds a dimension which countries deserve to experience.
Yeah. Expand on that for me, Senator, in terms of that dimension that feminine leadership brings to the table.
Well, let me tell you, normally we are accused of being emotional. They say that we just can't manage things. They say that we are too focused on, we're not strong enough, we're not confident enough, we're too aggressive, we're too forceful. Everything we do has come with negative connotations. But now, the leadership which the people are asking for is leadership which is compassionate, which is caring, which puts people at the centerpiece of development, not leadership which is focused on being combative, on achieving one over the other. The world has been structured with people fighting for certain things. Our leaders are more known for what they fight each other for. Right now it's vaccines, Dahlia.
Yes.
So that the feminine quality, which is all embracing and nurturing, is something people want to experience because they know that women will think about what is good for everyone.
Fantastic. Senator, it's good to see you, ma'am. Thank you so much for spending some time with us this morning.
Thank you. You're two of my favorite people, so I'm just delighted to have been asked to join you. I hope you just have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.
And you too, ma'am. Thank you very much for spending some time with us. God bless you, ma'am.
Senator Donna Scott-Mottley, Shadow Minister for Justice and Gender Affairs.
What about that word quota? Do you know that, and Dahlia would know because she's into sport, Jack Callis, who's a South African white cricketer, one of the best in the world ever, was one of the coaches of South Africa. Because of something like what we were talking about, they said the South African cricket team can't have any more white consultants. So even though he's South Africa, played for South Africa, did brilliantly for South Africa, as I said, one of the best ever, he can't work with the South African team now because they want to see more black people, which I have no problem with it at all. I mean, I like that. I just not certain I like the word quota because quota means I'm going to put Dahlia in a position just because she's female and not necessarily because she's qualified for it.
I think part of it is forcing the hand until, as she says, it becomes natural.
No, I agree with the senator. I agree with everything she said.
Forcing the hand because if you don't force the quota, then it may never happen.
Yeah, no, I agree with her.
So
as I said, I remember when the Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller, our first and only female, and people were talking about whether, and I said, I will vote for the person who I think is the best person to lead the country. Whether that's female or male, I'm going to vote for the person who I think is the best person to lead the country. And I would not vote for a man just because.
Because I think in this case, part of the challenge is when you say quota, then it forces them, because it's difficult for women to get into politics.
No, I agree with you.
So you don't get an opportunity to decide whether the woman is the best person or not.
I totally agree. I just have an issue with that word.
Yeah.
Just because, and it doesn't necessarily mean that. Don't get me wrong. But it could mean that.
Yeah.
So women, do you know your rights? Up next, we look at a few women's rights and its development over the years. Stay with us, please. Soon come.
It's been that way in sport for a while.
Yeah.
Volleyball